everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Larry from the heartland of America. EA Sports coverage of the NFL for you here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Indianapolis Colts. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And he's got room. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a third down. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Wilson now to throw on third down. They set up the screen to Rawls. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And this will be taken at the 13. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Carry for Amir Abdullah. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Again, it's Abdullah. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
There we go, D. That's the way to end it, T.
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. They'll need to get the play off quickly. He'll drop to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Returnable for Lockett. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and out. And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. So the defense flinches, contact made, and the 5-yard penalty ensues.
Encroachment, defense. Still second down.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And some room to maneuver. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's second down. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Finding time. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
The Seahawks send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Set, Detroit! Detroit! Back down to that belly. Here we go.
They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. They worked very well there for a first down.
They'll set up a throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Colts defensive unit trots back out there. They'll be hoping to come up with that same type of effort they had last time when they forced the punt that led to a touchdown.
And that type of effort just continues to carry over. Because once you get it done once, you feel like you can do it again and again. It's no guarantee, but you got to like the confidence that they take back out into the field.
Now will they keep that confidence? Time to find out. First and 10, it's Wilson. That is incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll come out in the pistol. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On third down, Wilson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. A good pickup there, a 22. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their plan, and we saw the execution because the confidence of the players was there.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
They run with a power back. Rawls. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they are on the board. But back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to try and go deep again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Indy. 46 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on third and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Time running out here on the play clock. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. And the wideout in motion. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 20. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Again, it's Rawls. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he fends him off. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. Now Abdullah, the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, that's it. He's looked pretty good to this point. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult, that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. They start on the ground with Rawls. Oh, what a move. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well. But they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He's got Curse. That one goes for 24 yards.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Now Wilson on first down. He's got time. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Wilson shakes off the sack, and he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come up in an offset eye. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. Now he's flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right. That's caught inside the 20. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. Well, we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to go up top again. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for Indy. .62 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. It's their quarterback. His second touchdown. Out of the afternoon. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. And the lead is up to 5. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And a look here at the Colts defense. And a pretty nice job last time. Gave up quite a bit of yardage, but only gave up the field goal.
Almost feel like we should give him a little bit of a round of applause for being able to dig in at the end of a long drive. Usually when those types of drives happen, they result in touchdowns because you broke in the defense, but they found some resolve in there and held them to a field goal.
Yeah, they found the resolve. Now they'll be looking to give up 0 points this time. So this is the second consecutive week as you look at the numbers that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
And taken down, but not before a beautiful little hurdle. Sometimes it can be dangerous there. It earned him the first.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And looking at this play from the running back's perspective, as it developed, I know he had to think to himself, oh no, here they come.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A Abdullah. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Amir Abdullah, 101 yards. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss-hit the ball and kick it right to him.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Tyler Lockett now with the return. Past the 30. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Play was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 40. Indianapolis set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few.
Amir Abdullah. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Amir Abdullah with his 13th touchdown. Touchdown of the year and second of the game. And thanks to the interception, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes, left side. The 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Colts defense, they worked their way back onto the field. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit,
yeah.
right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here? They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught, Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Fresh set of downs here. They come out here in the eye. First down, this is Rawls. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Wilson finding time. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
They run with Abdullah. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
They go with Abdullah again. And he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And some room to work. He's at the 30. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get the... This one up to about his 14. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Play clock winding down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it wasn't.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he's got Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense and you give them credit for...
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run. One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On first down, Wilson. He's got time. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he slides to avoid the hit. A gain of 4 on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They'll look to throw. Surveying the field. Complete outright to Kurz. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And quickly, they get to the line. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. He's back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. And now they're in the hurry-up. Wilson to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Here's Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now Wilson. Incomplete. Just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And on 3rd down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Throwing now is Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Holding. Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down, if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
I think what we just saw in that drive, partner, is great practice, preparation, and poise. Not only did they score with little time left for them to retaliate, they chewed up enough time along the way while still getting the yardage they needed. That was an impressive drive.
Very methodical. Now, barring something crazy on the kickoff, they've got this one.
Well, I think it's easy to figure out why they went for two there, right? You want to make sure you're guarding against a field goal beating you.
Yeah, but with this little time on the clock, they just need to worry about protecting on the kickoff.
That's the big one. And with the kickoff coming up, I wouldn't squib it. I would kick it deep, but not so deep that the return guy can get it. I won't make someone else handle the football. Yeah, put some height on it and take some time down.
He'll look to throw. Finding time. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that,